Hello, everyone, and welcome to my live stream. I'm just going to give everyone 1 minute to arrive, and I just want to check that it's going. So, if you want to send me a message just to confirm, I would much appreciate that. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. So, I know we're live. Okay, so I just want to start off tonight by thanking everyone for coming out to Tuesdays as my Tuesday gatherings. I think they've been a great success in that we've come together under an umbrella, and that's going to be the word tonight, umbrella. And it's not my word, but it's a word that's come through another channel, and then I actually had the same connection to the imagery that's coming in this week. But under the umbrella that I created, this forum to join together with even within the difficulties of isolation and the situation that we have found ourselves in since I think it was about March 12th, because I was supposed to go to California. So I just can remember that date, but just everything shutting down and us having to turn inwards. And one thing I wanted to say, actually, before I get into all this, I'm going to go over some housekeeping. So, number one is thank you. Number two is I'm going to be taking this format and taking it to Zoom so you can still have the same experience. I will be opening it to at the end for some interaction. With each other, or to give an opportunity to speak depending on the number of people that are able to attend. So I will still be continuing Tuesday evenings, so you can come there. You can register. It's $10 to join, so you can register on my website www.jenniferkilmer.com. So we will continue the healing journey, and I hope that you can join us because I don't know when gatherings are going to resume. I hopefully will be able to hold some events on my property, but I just wanted to keep this group going. So if you are interested, please find that information. Of course, I do one-on-one sessions. I'm seeing people in person now, as well as distantly on FaceTime or Skype. So if you want to go deeper, if you're finding yourself struggling with anxiety or just having, whatever's coming up, I'm here to help, and I can take it to another level. I look at things. I like to look at it at all the levels: physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, and see how they come together and how we can, almost like take it apart and break it down so that you can put it back together in a more stable, healthier way. So, yeah. Um, Chakras. I'm starting the chakra workshop tomorrow night. So we'll begin with the root chakra. If you're interested in climbing the ladder, the rainbow bridge with me, it's something that I'll be doing on Zoom as well. So it's starting at 7:30 tomorrow night. So all that information is on my website again. All right, so on to what I was just saying. The group. Actually, I lost my train of thought. I'll come back to it. But another channel that I have been following for probably about 6 years at least, her name is Magenta Pixie. And I actually just listened to her download earlier, just before coming on, actually. And she confirmed something that was actually happening, that happened to me. So we simultaneously had the same experience. I actually had the experience. She got the imagery of the umbrella. But last night I was, and this may be a little dramatic in my dreams, but I think you have to hear the message of the dream in order to put it together with what her message for what we're looking at to help you guys spiritually with, and help ourselves, but help humanity and do our part as light workers. So I was in my sleep state and I felt myself pulled out by the top of my crown chakra, my spirit, and into the darkness. And it wasn't into the darkness of, the void as though returning to creation. It was the negative plan or the negative agenda of the spiritual warfare that I've talked about many, many times. It's happening whether you realize it or not. But we are in a state of spiritual warfare. We are fighting, or I don't want to say fighting. We are liberating ourselves from a regular person's point of view, we're liberating ourselves from lower desires, addictions, behaviors, materialism, anything that keeps us, I hate to say it jokingly, but numb and dumb. So anything that numbs you out and dumbs you down is probably something that's anchoring you into the third density, the third dimension. So in my dream, the darkness is really stepping up because they haven't been successful with with COVID as much as they wanted to. And again, you can take my information, you can chew it, spit it out, or you can resonate with it. However, I'm just going to present my thoughts on it. And so a lot of us have a sense that this fall there's something coming. There is, a rumbling in the ethers, and if you talk to many people, a lot of people have a gut feeling something's off. And so I think what my dream was in pulling me out of my body, and the darkness wanted to kill me. It was like I was being annihilated by the darkness, and it was terrifying. I thought I was dying. And so when I pulled myself out and got myself unhooked from them and back into my body, and I woke up and stood up out of bed, I was like, oh my gosh. And so simultaneously, Magenta Pixie had put out a channeling that she had received where there is an agenda of death. And so whether you believe it as a physical death, a spiritual death, I think what we're given, both of us were given, is a prophetic, a warning by the spiritual realm to prepare. And so before sitting down tonight, I always channel what they want me to prepare. And I hadn't even listened to her work. And I was talking, what I wanted to talk about was preparing the body. So preparing ourselves, our immune system. So doing the physical work, doing the emotional work, doing the mental work and the spiritual work, because I really feel that we have to really strengthen ourselves, because something's coming. So if you think of Game of Thrones, winter's coming. And so, you may think of me, I'm standing up here with a microphone and just, prophesizing, preaching, but I'm also, it's my responsibility. If I have this information, I need to share it. And that's what I signed up for. I've always been that person, always been the one to stick their neck out, to say the uncomfortable. And I mean, why would I stop today? So is it death? I'm not sure, because I've also looked ahead and seen a lot of death. I wonder, I saw it like a zombie almost energy. So people were walking around, very disoriented. There was a death energy. So again, when someone sees, it doesn't necessarily mean they're seeing the actual thing. It could be symbolism. It could be lots of things, but pushing that aside, the grounded message, and I really want to go back to the what can we do with something like that? Because, prophets have visions all the time. They have major visions, and then what it actually manifests in can be something very, very different. So I want to bring this down into a grounded place, and that is, let's go back to becoming very, very healthy, very, very centered, very, very peaceful and loving and compassionate. And that's really difficult right now. So what we're being asked to do is actually very difficult to achieve, because there's a lot of fighting going on out there. There's a lot of camps being, made, and there's a lot of, casting arrows back and forth. And personally, I think there's truth in a lot of different sides. And so I tend not to pick a side because I'm more center oriented. And I know that's frustrating for some people, but I tend to look at both sides and question some things. So, but what I do come back to is, you know, a guiding principle, my heart, my spiritual compass, what is in resonance with the earth, what is in resonance with the animals of the earth, what is in resonance with, the cycles of nature. So, whoever takes me to there, then that's who I'm going to follow. But yeah, so to keep it simple and practical, because again, it's one thing to have a vision, but how can you bring it down and apply it to your life? What steps can we take? And just building on that energy that we built last week, that turtle energy, that forward momentum that is very purposeful, that's very conscious and consistent, and there's a pace to it. And I know sometimes we turtle in the way we pull in and into our shell, and I may have caused some of you to turtle tonight with that, just jumping into something so dramatic and sounding so I don't know. I can't even think of the word, just foreboding or whatever. But I really, I think I would be remiss to hold some stuff back. And being my last night, in this forum, I think it's kind of interesting that, I'm really getting pushed to speak a pretty strong message. So I really want you guys to take home this. Please do the work. Please do the work on all the levels, the physical, your vitamin D, your zinc, your vitamin C, get outside, do your exercising, eat more plant-based as much as you can. Do the emotional meditation that I have on YouTube, do the presencing with your emotions, do the cleansing work, do your mental health, like do all of the things that bring you healing, support, and bring courage to it. So it's not a finger pointing, it's not a blame and shame game. It's actually about looking within. It's about forgetting everybody on the outside and going within. And that was the message. COVID, it really, I know many people have said it, probably even yourself, I'm so, I'm maybe just saying it again just to put an exclamation mark behind it. But if COVID had only lasted 4 weeks, we wouldn't have been able to get to such an energy of silence. There's a lot of people that are feeling really content with themselves, far more than they would have ever been able to. And so, 1 month provided some, kind of healing to that. But now I think we're into March, April, May, like, over 3 months. And so we have really broken down some really thick walls, some really worn in habits and patterns. And, maybe in the beginning you tended to lean into, TV or some sort of external thing to bring you comfort. But there's a lot more people finding comfort in themselves now. And good for you. That means that you got the message. And so if you haven't arrived there, if you're getting restless, really remember, because we don't want this all to go for naught. Because I did say a couple weeks ago, or maybe about a month ago, that was the dress rehearsal. Now we have to get ready for the show. And so last night was kind of the show for me, when that darkness pulled me out and I was being annihilated. It was like, I don't even want to say dissolving. I don't even know, maybe being eaten by the darkness. But it was a really interesting experience. I don't think I'd want that to happen again. And so, so tonight's meditation is really about that word umbrella. And so when that media or channel used, she was given the umbrella in her dream as protection. And when I was writing out my information, they said, we're on this platform because we come together under an umbrella of protection. So my guides channeled that through me. So by coming together, we come into a resonance of protection under this umbrella of unity. And so there is no polarity on this channel. There is no, Democrat or Republican or Trudeau or not Trudeau. Like, this is a place of love, peace, and compassion. And so that will continue. I will be offering once a month a place of, coming together and doing healing work for humanity, for the earth, for the collective. So that will still continue. And it's under this umbrella that we really do have to unite. And we have to really begin to ask ourselves, is it worth fighting over? Is it worth blaming and pointing? Because as I said last week, and this is before I actually didn't know it was Black Tuesday or whatever they called it. I forgive me. I don't read the news, or I don't watch things. But when I got off our meditation last week, it made sense why the channeling was: don't grab a pitchfork, be neutral, be peaceful. Because I often find as soon as we have a position, something else is revealed, and we are like, oh, I didn't know. I wouldn't have reacted so strongly had I known something from that person, they were trying to do, or their motivations were this. And I'm not saying that applies to George Floyd's situation, but just across other times where we are often humbled as soon as we take a very strong position. So that's polarity, and that is a trapping. That is one of the things that keep us anchored. So when we can rise to a place of deep truth that creates peace, love, and compassion, even for those that, on the outside don't deserve compassion, believe me, they do. So that's where the umbrella works. And so tonight we're going to put up our umbrella, because I don't want you to, have the experience that I had from the darkness. I want you to be under a protection of an umbrella. And I know that can happen with just coming together through this, through intention, through our meditation, and through, through the guidance that comes through me. I'm being the one tonight, but really they're saying it comes through you. So maybe I'm setting the, the music, the ambiance, but you're really creating the music inside. So, so that's exciting. I just want to, and they also wanted us to, ignite our warrior energy. So that doesn't mean that we're fighting. The warrior energy for me is an internal energy of a strength. It's like you're sitting tall. You're at attention. You have your internal awareness is on high alert. You sense into your body, oh, I'm tired, I need to rest. They're just showing me that. You're really listening to your intuition. So, rather than coming at life from a mental perspective, I have to get this done. I have to be at that person's house. I have to. No, you don't have to. What you need to do is listen to your body, because your body is very wise. And I think in a lot of spiritual movements, it was always about overcoming the body, where it really is not. It's about the body is a fourth of this experience. So all the other layers, as I always say, emotional, mental, spiritual, are equally as important. So we don't want to transcend the body. We actually, from my perspective, we want to go deeper into the body, and we want to bring heaven on earth. And so one of the definitions when I looked up the symbolism of an umbrella is, oh gosh, I don't even know if I wrote it down. I didn't, but it was like a heavenly protection. So we are under the protection of heaven, but we have to ask them for it. And so that's what we'll do tonight. Okay, so that's my download. I hope that didn't spark too much fear. Remember, it's not to say you shouldn't have a little reaction saying, what is she talking about? So process it, but also let's ground it down into the body, which is where I really like to work, in the body, in the subconscious, in the tissues, and within, so that we can really be heaven on earth. I'll just repeat that again. Okay, so please find a place of comfort, and prepare yourselves for this guided part of the evening. And I just want you to maybe take a few moments just so that we can kind of begin to wind down from that. that blast of energy that was coming. It was very strong moving through me. So I just want to now turn down the lights in a way. So just imagine yourself closing your eyes and imagine yourself almost sensing like the lights are turning down. It's like a softness, a glow in the energy all around you as you soften and release. And just begin to do our 4-4-4 breath. So breathing in, so as you expand your belly on the count of 4, holding for 4, and then bringing that belly in and releasing for 4. And just take some really beautiful conscious breaths using 4-4-4, that code. Holding and releasing. And on the releasing, I want you to really let go of any static. And this energy tonight, I feel, is very strong energy. It's very warrior. So I don't feel this energy is going to be as relaxing as our weeks are normally. This is a ignition, they're saying to me. So right off the bat, we're feeling, this isn't one that we're falling asleep to. So just almost like I feel like you're getting ready for an adventure in a way. So just beginning though, I think just clearing the body and just noting that almost like that outer layer of agitation from the outside world it's almost like we have lint on our aura. So just breathing in, holding, and breathing out and just allowing that lint and that static to release. All that lint that we collect from all the different places that we visit, all the different interactions, and just allow it to just drop off and release. Breathing in, holding, breathing out, and releasing. And now we can begin to feel the body melt. Melting from that call to action into a more creative, gentle, still aware, but just a little more relaxed. Breathing in, holding, and breathing out and relaxing. And now I'm going to call in the 4 directions, the angels, the animals, our spirit guides for the night, so that we bring in our intentions, our loved ones, our celestial beings of light to guide us, protect us, and surround us during this time of uncertainty, challenge, but important time nonetheless. And so first off, I call upon Archangel Raphael, the guardian of the East and the element of air and the color yellow. This is the land of the rising sun, birth and rebirth. We breathe new life, enlightenment, and we call the great eagle. We call Archangel Michael, guardian of the south, the element of fire, and the color red. This is the place of the noonday sun, the spiritual realm of passion and creation, the fire of transformation. May Michael bring courage and protection to our journey, and we invite the wolf. We call upon Archangel Gabriel, guardian of the west, the element of water, and the color blue. And may we know the alchemy, kindness, and mercy of our emotions, this place of reflection and introspection, a place of transition to a new beginning, and we call the Great Bear. And in the north, we call Archangel Uriel, the guardian of the north, the element of the earth, the colors green and black. This is a place of the North Star, the place of mystery, where dreams begin, and we invite the white buffalo. We call upon the energies of above, Archangel Metatron, the element of ether. We invite the celestial hosts, all the archangels, the angelic realm, divine consciousness, and all the multidimensional beings that join us from above. May they be watchful over our lives, guiding us where they see fit, protecting us as we walk. We call the energies of below, Archangel Sandalphon, the sacred Mother Earth, beloved Gaia, and our shadow selves. All that sometimes we disown, we call back, for we strengthen in our wholeness. And we call the energies of the elements, the stones and crystals, the plants and trees, and all that walk, crawl, and fly upon the earth. And finally, we move to the sacred center, the sacred energies within us, this place of balance that we aim to achieve within our hearts, the sacred union of within and without, the oneness, the divine feminine, the divine masculine, the God goddess. And so this place of timelessness and transformation, this is the place of the void, from which all things are born and to which all things return. And so that dark energy, that is sacred. That is the organic self. That is the organic experience of birth and death and rebirth. And so reminding yourself in that energy within your heart and just feeling the difference, knowing the difference of that womb of creation, the darkness, the comfort, where everything and nothing matter. Remember that, where everything and nothing matter, where time stops. And so just allow that energy to expand for a moment. Just really go into it a little bit deeper, taking your awareness to the center of your heart. And really feel the love of the organic void, the sacred center, where all things begin and end, and just really feel how beautiful it is, timeless and perfect, and breathing in and breathing out. And with each breath, I want you to imagine that you can expand that now, so that energy, that sacred center, that sphere begins to expand. Perhaps with each breath, you just expand it a little bit more. And so you're expanding that sphere of light bigger and bigger. So it may go from your neck to your hips. And then you expand it a little bit more. And a little bit more. And just until you are in a sphere of that divine mother energy, that womb of creation, you are in that safety of the divine mother energy. And that will be one aspect of our healing, but just feeling the protection of the divine mother. And then you can see and feel the peace within the strength. You feel strong yet peaceful. You know you are protected, yet you are not without responsibility. And so, gathering from the element of the earth, I want you to imagine now lying in this sphere of light. Just imagine yourself now lying on the earth. And I want you to feel the minerals of the earth moving into your body, strengthening your body. So a lot of us have difficulties absorbing minerals from for various reasons, whether it's food sensitivities or gut health or just lack of minerals in the food due to farming practices. But just in this situation, imagine that all of that falls away, all of those narratives fall away, and you just feel the soil, the richness of the soil beneath you, and the dark, cool energy of the soil, the minerals begins to move into your body and really strengthening your immune system. So it moves, these minerals move through the body in whichever way, the circulatory or whether it's through the tissues and all the cells that require it. And I just want you to feel the support of the earth. All the while breathing in and breathing out. And now I want you to bring your awareness to an area in the body that seems to require physical support. So allow the energy of the minerals, the energy of the earth, to go to an area in your body that is needing some more support. So it may be something you're aware of. Perhaps you have kidney troubles or lower back issues or heart troubles. Wherever your physical weakness may be, I want you to imagine that energy drawing to strengthen and support you on a physical level and just giving you an extra healing support, extra energy. Just allow the love and healing force of the earth bring support to that. And just being in a place of gratitude for the healing. And just allow the Mother Earth to bring you healing. And if you have a sense of, I'm not worthy, or for some reason, sometimes it's hard to accept something from another for past feelings, just allow that to be surrendered, to be released. Release all barriers to health. Allow Mother Earth, allow the minerals of the earth, and allow the healing energies of the earth to really permeate this part of you, to bring you extra support. Breathing in and breathing out, and just allow that energy to continue to work for another minute. Really allow it to be downloaded into your body, wherever that is. And this newfound peace within you, this is from doing our work, from doing our meditations, from doing our reflection, and from removing ourselves from the agitation, the hum of society. So that peace now flows through the body on a much greater level. And you're much more able to maintain neutrality and a higher vibration when people become positioned and polarized and righteous or scared, really. It's really just a place of fear. And so you can feel your inner peace. When peace meets fear, peace can be the eater of fear instead of allowing fear to swallow us, as my dream was showing, being swallowed by the darkness. We can stand and we can absorb it and transform it just by radiating our light. All right, so now I want you to imagine that in your imagery, you begin to rise onto your feet, and you are somewhere in a meadow or somewhere in nature. I want you to walk to the nearest stream or body of water that's closest to you and what appears to you. So for some, it may be an ocean. For some, it could be a babbling brook or a waterfall. However the water element appears in your visualization, I want you to make your way over to the water element, and I want you to just begin to slowly connect with the water element. And I'm going to call specifically on Archangel Gabriel at this time to be our guardian nearby and our facilitator of this elemental experience. And so however it works for you, whether it be moving into the body of water, I want you to begin to just connect to that water once again, feeling it as though it was real, connecting to it and asking permission to ask for healing. And so as we bathe, and they're showing me it's almost like a baptismal energy where we immerse in the water as a version of ourselves. But as we leave, which we're not ready yet, we'll be renewed. So play in the water, move in the water, bathe in the water. Almost imagine that you have some sort of connection to the water where you can begin to ask it to take off any energies that you can begin to let go in your emotional body. So now just checking into your emotions. What emotion are you holding maybe right now that you would like to cleanse a little bit more? How can we ask the element of water to help us shed those unshed tears, to help us move an emotion? And so now we move into more that healing state. You go into the water, diving down, and allowing the water to really cleanse your soul, cleanse your emotional body of your pain, your suffering. And so now when you move through the water, it's to heal. And so you may come through the water with emotion. You may become erratic or a little bit more energized, or you may just want to surrender and lie back and shed your tears. But allow the water to support your healing. Breathing in and breathing out. And with each layer of emotional pain that you release, you have gratitude. You have gratitude for the water. You have gratitude to the spirit of the water. And we offer conservation back. So the water is asking us for a blessing back. So to learn and understand more about conservation. So the water asks us to respect her element through conservation. So it's plentiful, but to be conserved, respected. And so this is a message of co-creation with the earth, to take only what we need. And there is a difference. What do you actually need? And so feeling the blessings of the healing of the water element and feeling the message from the water element, we become partners. And when you're ready, I want you to imagine that you rise up through the banks of the beach, wherever you are. And as you emerge from the water, you feel that baptismal energy, that rebirth, that reemergence. Your emotional body feels lighter. You feel brighter, stronger, and more responsible to the earth. So the healing is not without doing our part. And so I want you to now imagine that you walk a little further down your path and you come up to a grassy knoll, which you climb. There may be a little bit of effort. It's a bit of a hill. And you climb to the top of the hill and you begin to feel the element of the wind. And just feeling the wind in your hair, blowing and blustering. And I want you to imagine for a moment, I want you to move your heart energy in your mind's eye up through your voice. And just imagine yourself on this grassy knoll. Just in your mind's eye. You don't have to actually do it. But I want you to use the sound of your voice now. I want you to imagine that you use your voice. And so you may begin with singing and crying. It could be yelling to singing. It could just be yelling your name. But imagine you're standing in the wind on this grassy knoll, and through the heart, we bring up the energies into the throat. And I want you to imagine that you just spread your arms out and you let it go. You let it all go. You allow your voice, the sound, and your heart to really release. No one's around. Only the angels that walk with you, that encourage you to be childlike in your innocence, to sing like no one's watching, to scream like if you have to, but just let it go. Let it all go. You feel so much better getting it out. All of that buried, emotional, mental thoughts you couldn't say, all of that stuck energy has a place to be released. It has a place to go, to be expressed, to be completed. And so after you sing and cry and scream and laugh, you realize that you need them all. For we need to scream sometimes, not at people, but just to release. We have to sing our hearts out. We have to cry and laugh. For this is true unity. This is true balance. We are not one without the other. And so collectively we must come together under one umbrella of love. And so as you are onto this grassy knoll, I want you to imagine that you walk a little bit further. You come around more rocky terrain. You come around a bend, almost like a switchback. And you come to a little fire burning. Archangel Michael greets you and asks you to sit down with him. For this is an initiation into the warrior energy. I'm just feeling the power of that energy at the fire, the igniting of your warrior. And he reminds you the fight is not an external fight. It's an internal call. It's an internal call for love, peace, compassion, and humanity. And so in the fire, he asks you to gaze, feel it igniting in your belly, igniting so that you can rise to the call to action, to walk in the consciousness of the cosmic Christ, the internal Buddha, the spirit within. The Kundalini, the Shakti ignites the power source within you, the Holy Spirit, all pointers to the same divine energy within your heart. And so feeling this energy ignite in you, this is no longer a time to sit. It's part of it, but it is now time to be the change we seek. So to take action in your life through body, emotional health, our mental health, and be that spiritual warrior. Be the change you seek in the world. Be loving, compassionate, supportive, patient, inclusive. Be all those things that we seek in another. Be them first in yourself. And he knows that you have all that you need for your journey, but he does have a specific gift for you tonight. And so he reaches in and hands you something within his palm of his hand. So each of you will see this gift differently. Some of you will see it as a symbol. You may see it as an orb of light. You may see it as a feeling or a word, but just taking that energy into your solar plexus, into your heart, into your throat, into your third eye, into your sacral, your crown, and your root, and just giving that symbol in all of your chakras. You have been ignited and anointed. And so he invites you to rise, for you have one more stop. And so thanking Archangel Michael in gratitude, just bowing, offering gratitude for the blessings, the healing, the wisdom, and the protection. And you walk a little bit further, coming up to a rise just a little bit higher, rounding one more switchback until you come up to quite a view, and Archangel Metatron is awaiting. And Archangel Metatron is standing under an umbrella of a rainbow. And this umbrella is the cosmic light force that stands above us, protecting us. But we had to walk through these layers and levels of an initiation and healing to come around to the top of this rise to join Archangel Metatron. And so he points out the earth as you look down at the people, the places, the events, the animals. And you can see the fighting, the polarity, and you can see the dark feeding off of our fear, our anger, our resentments of another. But here on the rise, under this umbrella of rainbow light, is only peace, only light. And there is hope. There is hope for the new earth. There is hope for humanity. And there's hope for the future generations to come. For the children after us will be even more conscious, even more earth-oriented. They will be the leaders of tomorrow. So we must lead the way today. We must clear the way for the generations to come to continue to take us to greater and greater levels of consciousness, creativity, technology, clean environmental, innovation. And so Archangel Metatron is not about taking us to heaven and looking down and not being a part of the earth. He is about bringing us to a higher perspective so that we can receive the creative downloads from the heavens, so that we can anchor the new earth through our creativity and our peace. And so when we stand in protection and peace, we have access to these realms of solutions. There is so much that we will be able to experience from this place of peace. We just have to open that door. And so Archangel Metatron blesses us on our journey. And he places the rainbow light of the umbrella in our aura. And he places it in all of those that we come into contact with. So when we spread this energy through our connections with others, we also anoint them, our family, our homes. So feeling that protection of from the umbrellas, from an unexpected rainy day that may be ahead in the fall, maybe not, but at least we have our umbrella. Whether it comes or not, we have our umbrella. We're prepared. And so we thank Archangel Metatron for his protection. And we begin to make our way down the mountainous terrain, back around the rocky places, the grassy knoll, down the path, onto the flatter ground. And just now, from this place on the bottom of this hill, I want you to look up and hold in your heart gratitude for the cosmic, divine Mother, Father energies that were with us. For they create that Trinity, Mother, Father, Child, and the three of us as one strong, united, anchored force. And so it is. Okay, so So that is the meditation, healing, anointing, blessing event for tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was everything that you needed or didn't realize you needed, but I am really excited for how this manifests in your life, how it's revealed in months to come, but just connecting to that rainbow umbrella as your protection, that sphere of the natural void that we emanate from, not the inverted void that they tried to kidnap me to last night. But just know the organic protection of love, peace, and compassion. I hope you enjoyed our meditation, our healing tonight. Once again, if you want to visit my website for next Tuesday, I'll be on Zoom. I would love to have you. Again, it'll be interactive, so maybe closer to an hour and a half, but it'll be really great, a really great space. So thank you so much, and please send me a message that it was okay for you or how your experience was. I would love to hear from you. Namaste. Ciao.